today. This is going to be building on what we've been working on the last 2 days, especially day 9, which is transforming experiences part 1. So today is going to be building on that. And what do I mean by that? On day 9, we worked on what was our positive intention for any negative experience, any negative example that we may have been storing in our system. And now it's about understanding what resources would we have needed to fulfill our higher intention, our higher positive intention, and then accessing those in a way in which we're going to be ready for any situation like that in the future. There is a NLP presupposition that says everyone already has all the tools they need to achieve their desired result. So if you believe that we already have all the tools that we have within us, then any experience we encounter, we can be most resourceful by understanding, okay, hey, what was our positive intention? What was I trying to achieve in that specific situation? And then from there, understanding, okay, I needed that resource. I needed that resource. Just tap into that energy and your experience changes. And when your experience changes, when your internal experience changes, your external experience changes as well. So let's go ahead and try this out and see how this works for you guys. As we always do, let's take 3 deep breaths in and out and get centered. Open body, open mind. Each breath out, release any stress, any tension that you may be holding in your body. And with each breath in, take in the positive energy. And fill up your body. All right. So first step, go ahead and bring to mind the negative example that you've been working on, or a new negative example that you want to work on. So if you've been working on this could be something that you've thought about on day 9, 2 days ago. And all it is the best way to do this is to say, okay, when were my intentions thwarted? Yeah, when did I want to do something and I was not able to do it? And when was I not the most resourceful in a specific situation? When was I acting in a way in which, looking back, I knew I could have done better? This is just about you, yeah? This is not about what someone else did for you, whatever, but this is just about your own internal experience and how you could have had a better experience for yourself. So bring to mind that negative experience. And before you jump into the positive intention, I'd like you to observe how it represents itself. So just in your mind's eye, when you think of this negative example, as of now negative example, is it representing itself visually? Like, are you seeing this example happen in front of you, like as if you're there? Do you hear things? Do you hear yourself? Do you hear other people? Do you feel something in your body? Do you feel any tightness in your chest, shoulders? Do you feel anything in your legs? Or is it just visual? Is it just one of the 3, 2 of the 3, or all 3? Think of how it represents itself for you. And do your best, and we worked on this yesterday, to jump between different associated and dissociated states. So do your very best to stay dissociated out of your body when you are encountering the situation. So let's say visually you're seeing this happen as if you're there in that moment. Pull yourself out. Get dissociated out of your body as if you're watching this movie in front of you. Yeah? So it's as if you have this going on in front of you and now you're just watching it objectively. The point of this is to be as objective as you can and not bring your emotions. Even though emotions are important, you want to be objective in this and say, okay, how could I have approached this differently? What was a different perspective that I could have taken on? So get dissociated out of your body and observe this happening in front of you. Hear what you hear, see what you see, feel what you feel, and bring to mind that positive intention. And the way that we did this on day 9 was we chunked up, if you remember. We said, okay, what was I trying to do in that instance? I was trying to, for example, in my situation that I gave, the example, I said, hey, I was trying to protect myself from losing money. Okay, cool. And then we chunked up and said, what's important to you about that? What's important to me about that specific intention that I had? Until we got to something that resonated with me. In that case, that was for me to feel empowered. And when I felt that, I was like, wow, okay, this is what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to lose money. I'm just trying to feel like I can do anything. I'm just trying to feel internally empowered. And so once you have that higher intention, if you already had that, continue observing the situation and ask yourself this question: what internal resources would have helped me fulfill my positive higher intention? What internal resources would have helped me with that positive intention? This is key. So see what comes up for you. And these could be just words, these could be phrases, but see if you can distill them down into specific words. And actually, before you do that, so just take a moment, and if you want, you can take out a piece of paper, your journal, whatever, write it down, and see what comes up for you. So for example, for me in that situation, what I think I needed was patience. I needed acceptance. I needed belief. I needed trust. I needed preparedness. So make a list of these resources. It could be 1 or 2, it could be 10 or more. So whatever they are, just write them down. And then what you're going to do in this next step is you're going to pretend you're going to add these resources into this movie. So pretend like they're just coming in and you're able to add these resources to the movie, almost like as if you're sprinkling these resources, the energy of these resources into that movie. And then you're going to observe how that movie changes. Not only how do your thoughts, your words, your actions in that specific movie changes, but the movie as a whole, how does it change? So just take a moment, add those resources one at a time, repeat them to yourself if you need to. So for me, patience, acceptance. See how that changes. Okay, now let's add the others and just see how that changes. Wow. Okay. And see if you need any more resources. And the idea here is that movie would automatically change. You don't need to consciously think about, okay, I would have done this differently. I would have done that differently. No, if you already are accessing those resources, this is so cool. And some of the experiences that I've had in facilitating this for my clients and also working on this for myself, I can see the shift in their body as they're working on this. When they have come to peace with that specific situation, automatically, just by adding the resources, they don't need to say to themselves, yeah, I would have done this differently. I would have done that differently. No, your energy shifts, your experience shifts, and automatically the entire situation changes by itself. Really cool to experience, really cool to see happen. So see how that changes your experience when you add these resources, and see if you need to add anything else. Make a list of these and see if you can make that movie as compelling as you could make it, as absolutely compelling as you can make it, because that is what we're trying to do right now. Because if you can make something in the past totally work for you now, looking back, you're like, yeah, I just wasn't accessing those resources that now I know I can, so that I could have fulfilled this higher intention that I didn't know that I really had. Okay, that's what we're going to dive into tomorrow, which is to future pace, which is we're going to take experiences like this and say, okay, how can we take this into the future? How can we plan out our future, be ready to be 100% resourceful the way that we know we can be for future examples where we are going to be tested, where potentially we can use these same resources to help us as well. Yeah. So the point of this isn't to deceive ourselves. Yeah. We're not like lying to ourselves and say, yeah, this is actually what happened. Like that's not what what actually happened. Like that doesn't matter. Here's like that new memory that I'm creating. We're not deceiving ourselves. What we're doing is shifting our perspective on what happened in a way that serves us, right? Memory is something that can be shifted pretty easily, right? Like, what is memory at the end of the day? It's just a few neurons that are firing together at the same time, right? That trigger an emotion within us. And so when we readjust the way that those neurons fire in a way that works for us, at the end of the day, the facts are the facts. We can leave those facts be, and that's why we try to stay objective in this. Yeah, we want to leave the facts as they are, but we want to say, okay, what is something that we can draw upon from this experience that we have not drawn upon in a way that integrates us, that in a way that aligns us, in a way that empowers us moving forward. So that is what we are trying to do here, and that's what we're going to close out our 12-day session, 12-day program, I should say, tomorrow. So please tune in if you can for that. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to close up everything that we've started these last 12 days. And then from then on, I have some really exciting stuff that I want to share with you guys about what I'm going to be doing moving forward on this group and just in general. There's a lot going on, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you again for joining my group. Really happy for that. Really excited for what we're doing this year. Anyways, signing off. I hope you guys have an outstanding day out there. Take care. Cheers.